Welcome back to PSCB Plus podcast channel. Mga kabarangay, ako po inyong kaibigan. Sa inyo po yung Direk Rene. Magandang umaga, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening kung nasaan man kayo sa ating mundo. At it's a beautiful Monday morning here in Aotearoa, and since I am on school break, so I decided to do a little bit of a catch up on my podcast in honor, and I'd like to thank also our 18,000 plus subscribers. No? Maraming salamat for your support and your prayers. No? Kaya ginagawa ko po ito. And so it so happened that our guest, ating mga kasama, mga katsikahan dito, ay on leave din siya sa pagtuturo. She's also senior lecturer at the AUT, Auckland University of Technology, tracing her family's roots from Bae, Laguna, and La Union. But she was born and partly raised in Singapore. Oh, magandang kwento ito. Let's welcome on the stream si EUNICE Gaerlan, Dr. EUNICE Gaerlan. Hi, Doc. Good morning po.
Magandang umaga po. Or hapon, gabi, wherever you're coming from.
And how are you po? How are you, ma'am?
Well, very good. It's nice, like you say, it's a nice day in Aotearoa, Tamaki Makaurau. So we had a lot of rain for a while, so it's nice to have some sunshine.
That's right. The last time I saw you, I think it was at the premiere of Magellan. Was it the movie Magellan?
Yeah, that's right.
Quite long, you know, 3 hours.
Yeah, it was it's a slow burn.
Oh yes,
slow burn of a movie.
I think it was the style of the director. No?
Wow.
So just to put a little bit into context, I mentioned that your parents are from La Union and Laguna, but you were born and raised in Singapore. Is it correct, ma'am?
Well, actually, a bit more of a twist to that story. So definitely born in Singapore. My family, we actually migrated from Singapore to Mexico. I didn't tell you that. Yeah. I was born in Singapore, and then by the age of 2, we migrated to Mexico, and we stayed there for 2 years. My dad was working with Wella Hair Care. I don't know if you remember.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was being stationed in these different cities. And towards the end of our time in Mexico, the question was asked, where do I want to raise my child, my family? And New Zealand was an option, only just an option, because at those days, 1980s, it wasn't, not as many people migrating to New Zealand, very few. So he went to New Zealand, he checked it out, and he thought, okay, actually, this is a good country. I think I want to settle here. So I think by the age of 4 to 5, we migrated to New Zealand. So yeah, I've grown up here from that age, gone through the New Zealand school system, and mostly raised in New Zealand.
Yes, I guess back in the day, na sinasabi, that's what usually the cues to say. Back in the day, I think the educational system, especially in high school where I'm teaching right now, would have been idyllic, was it? Ngayon, it's quite different.
I don't know what constitutes as idyllic, but it was. I feel like it is different. I reflect on my time back in high school, and then I think I've got 2 children, and one of them is in high school, in the same high school that I went to, and it just has changed, quite a change in the expectations, the way life is. So yes, I don't know whether we can say what's ideal, what's not, but I definitely know that I feel like things are different for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about the push and pull factor of the family coming to Aotearoa, and then you grew up here, and you finished an education degree. Was it, Dr. Gaerlan?
Again, lots of surprises and twists and turns. I actually, when I finished my high school years, I did what I think a lot of Filipino or Asian families do, which is to go into sort of more paths like Yeah, well, I did a politics and commerce degree at conjoint, and I had this. Yeah, I realized very soon once I had graduated that it wasn't really the area that I wanted to spend my life doing, contributing
Mm-hmm.
to. So then I did the 1 year graduate diploma of teaching in primary, and I
Oh,
became a primary school teacher and did
wow.
that for a decade or so, and then I did my
Wow.
postgrad. From there, postgrad, master's, PhD, and I work now in teacher education. So I train people to become primary school teachers. So it's like
Oh, that's
full circle.
So
Mm.
now that you are in the what's this in the training, because in our school in Otahu College we have students. I think we have six, I think, or seven from AUT who are doing their placement. So
Oh,
they have been with
wonderful.
us for 4 or 3 weeks. I think that they still have 2 more weeks to do, and
Yeah,
I've seen their professors come from time to time
yeah,
to talk to them. And yeah, we always, our college always has placements coming from AUT. I think last time someone was from Canada and he was telling us when he finished, he will go back to Canada. He said it's easier to get a qualification here and be able to teach in Canada, or easier or not as expensive, I think. Yeah.
yeah. And some other countries it can take 2 years to get the
Hmm.
teaching qualification. But here in at AUT we offer the 1 year
Hmm.
program. So people from Canada rather than doing 2 years can come here
Yes.
1 year, see lovely Aotearoa New Zealand in the same time, and then can, they're qualified to teach after that. But we have some that also stay here in Aotearoa.
Oh,
Some
good.
Canadians that stay in the schools. They love it so much. Maybe they get a girlfriend, or
Oh, yeah, yeah, because we have, I think she's from Toronto, so she came here in December. I think they moved
Mm,
with her family. She said, "Oh, the weather is so different," like and
yeah, yeah, that's right.
so you are in the graduate program of, or you still also do some teaching in the undergrad, or mostly graduate students?
For me, it's the postgraduate teacher education students. So I'm the program leader of the Master of Teaching and
Oh,
Learning postgraduate diploma of teaching and learning. So I
okay.
oversee that whole program, and we support our students to become primary school teachers. So AUT has lots of programs depending on the
Yes.
sector. So
Hmm.
ECE, primary and secondary.
Hmm.
I oversee the primary 1 year programs
Okay.
and get many international students. I'm trying to
Mhm.
get more Filipinos here.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
oo, mm.
yeah,
And, shout out sa ating mga ating mga kababayan na nagtuturo sa
yeah,
primary, sector dito sa New Zealand, 'no? You're doing very, laudable, career and job, given the challenges, 'no? Ah, Doc Doc Doc, usually ano ang mga what are these teachers, 'di ba, kung they talk to you, ano yung challenges nila sa classroom now, yung ngayon sa primary?
yes. I think some of the challenges that mga kaibigan ko, colleagues in the
Mhm,
front line, I don't experience it as much being in
mhm.
higher ed, pero the ones in the primary schools, the increasing diverse needs of young people,
Oh.
finding it very challenging to be able to meet all of those strengths and needs, but
Mhm,
um, and feeling like they don't get the funding, or they're not able to be operationalized
mhm,
with actual support to help them with children with autism,
mhm.
ADHD, people that have different ways of learning, pero you need more others to support you to support them. That's a challenge.
Yes. Mhm.
Yung maraming mga changes sa curriculum, so
Mhm.
we have they are having to learn a lot of new curricula in order to
Yes.
meet the requirements of the ministry, but it's such a short time frame.
Mhm.
You know, they have to make these changes very quickly, and as you
Correct.
know, Kuya, it's not as easy to implement the
Mm.
change so quickly as what we're expected to do. So I
Tama.
think yung burnout,
Mm,
exhaustion, burnout, that's a very real experience because
yes.
for all the change we have to do, you have to have the time to change your systems, change your, your
Mhm,
resources, all of that. Yeah, I feel for our for all of the teachers. It's a lot of
mhm.
that they have to manage. Mm.
Yeah. And also I think Doc, the classroom size, no, yung I think back in the day it will be like ideal, like smaller classes, but because of the expansion of migration, population increases, lumaki. On the average, ako sa high school, umaabot ako ng 30, 32, parang ganun, which is
Yeah,
supposedly 20 something, 24 or 28. But
yeah,
that's one, no? And the other thing, Dr. Garland, is yung overseas trained Filipino teachers, especially yung culture, no? When they come in, it sometimes, most often, they are not prepared for the culture. Kasi ang tinitingnan ng ating mga kababayan, no, which is I'm not faulting them, no, is the opportunity to teach in New Zealand, to earn blah 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 and da 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 da, ganun. Pero hindi rin na tinitingnan also that it is a different educational system. The culture is different. So sometimes that burnout you're saying is mas napapabilis, no? Instead of staying longer in the academy.
yeah. I agree. There's a definite culture shock that I see that with our international students who are being placed in schools, particularly the ones who come from non-Western
Mm,
countries,
mhm,
because as we can, even though we have very diverse student populations, the staff room makeup and the staff room culture tends to be fairly westernized because we work in a westernized
mhm,
dominant system. I think that we underestimate yung culture shock, cultural
mhm,
acculturation process when people from other countries come. And that's something that New Zealand schools also have to support if we want to invite more diversity into the staff room and
mhm.
into our employment base as teachers. We have to open up our ways. The schools have to also support that diversity in the staff body as well as the student body.
That's
Um,
right. Mm,
so we have to do. In fact, I'm doing a research project right now on the
mm,
experiences of student teachers, especially
okay.
those who come from yeah non-Western backgrounds. What it's like to come in, and sadly, I think they do experience some racism in
Mm,
staff rooms. They experience that they have to work a lot harder to prove themselves. So yeah,
mhm.
it's
Now,
it's a challenge.
yeah, that's a challenge, really. That I think we should prepare our teachers also for, and it's good that AUT and other institutions are putting in place also, because talking to the AUT placement students, they will tell us or tell me that they have this support that's pero ano pa rin, parang more support.
Yeah, yeah,
Why, yung ano po, yung mga, kasi yung iba, kasi sabi, oh, ang swerte nyo naman, 10 weeks kayo nagtuturo, tapos may 2 weeks kayong break, no? I think, yeah, swerte, oh, but I think as teachers, the 2 weeks is something for us to recharge, is something for us to reflect on what we've done, no?
mm.
Kailangan namin yun eh, parang ganun. It's
Oh,
needed.
the school term is unrelenting. It is so busy from the start of the term to the end. There's no stopping. There's no rest. You are not finished at 3 o'clock.
No.
No teacher walks in at 9 and leaves at 3. And if you are, then I don't know what you're doing. But
and the amount of paperwork that we have to do in mainstream, no, talagang it is tremendous, no. I had the
that's
privilege of teaching Dr. Garland in a pioneering program for 5-6 years. I was teaching in a in a non-traditional school, and our clients or our students were mostly youth and adults who had intellectual and learning disabilities. At alam nyo, mas masaya ako doon kaysa yung ngayon nasa mainstream ako. Kasi my students, and I have a small class lang kasi usually hanggang 15 lang kami. No? So kung ano man yung spectrum, they will come to school prepared. And para sa akin, ang tingin ko sa kanila, they were like imbudo, a vacuum, no? Parang talagang gusto nilang ma-absorb yung ano, kahit na umuulan, bumabagyo, they will come. Of course, some of them will be dropped off by their caregivers, but most who are taking the bus, so parang iniisip ko, bakit ano sila na, they have these challenges, but they are so eager to get that knowledge. Yung isa nga, Dr. Gaelan, sabi sa akin, kasi ano na kami, PTE kasi to, private tertiary education. So they just call you by your first name. Sabi, Rene, you know what's cryptocurrency? Sabi sa akin ganun. Tapos, ini-explain na niya sa akin, which is, ako naman, hindi ko masyadong kabisa. And the way he was explaining it, tama eh. So, I think their thinking is really, so, yeah, I wish.
think those schools and those students can teach us a lot. They can teach us about how maybe what we think is the way learning happens is not really how learning happens. I think that we should be looking towards alternative ed for those very innovative approaches to education, the ways that they can engage people that have not been engaged in the mainstream system. I think we should learn from that. So, a wonderful experience, Guia.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh. And unfortunately, the program had to stop, so funding and all of that. But yeah. So you were talking about research, no, Dr. Gaerlan. If there are people who would like to, communicate with you, so this is Dr. Gaerlan's email address, no, eunice.gaerlan@aut.ac.nz. So these are probably students who are, or prospective students who are thinking, paano ba, ano ba ako, will I shift career or things like that. So they can get in touch with you, Dr. Gaerlan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be so happy to field any inquiries, any questions, even if you're just, thinking about studying again or changing career. I'm happy to help. I think we're going to talk about the Philippine Studies Hub in a minute, but preempt that, we really want to see more people, more Filipinos coming in and doing some postgraduate studies, and in Philippine studies or any other fields really, because we see the pathway that it can offer.
Correct. Yeah. That's right. And then I think we'll talk about the Philippine studies. Things that's happening in AUT, because recently I think Ambassador Kira Azucena was part of that signing agreement, and so now you have the Philippine Studies Hub based in AUT, and the hub is part of the bigger Philippine Studies network in New Zealand, because other universities there, they also have that, Dr. Gaerlan. So what is this Philippine Studies Hub based?
Yes. So it's I think I do want to speak to that, the network. There's a network and a hub, and I want to tautoko or just pay homage to my colleagues who were in the network, who really were the pioneers to get this going. So Dr. Sarah Domingo, Maricar Bautista, Harold, Jovan, Luis. I think I've got everyone. Apologies if I missed anyone, but they saw the need for a network where we could, where Filipino scholars could collaborate, connect, that we could celebrate our successes as Filipinos, because we're a hardworking group. And as a result of that hub, and through the support of the ambassador and the embassy, they made a suggestion that we should apply for funding from the DFA for some to be able to establish a hub that's aligned to a university. And we put forward a proposal, and the embassy was able to confirm to us that the government wanted to support this establishment. It essentially it's very small start. It's a small start with hopefully big, big visions, big dreams. But it really is to have a place where Filipino scholars and people who are interested in or are doing studies on the Philippines can come together and find solidarity, connection, and further support for progressing themselves, and getting our research out there, getting the really wonderful things that is happening in our community, which is a fast-growing migrant community here in Aotearoa. Getting that out there and showing people that the kinds of interesting research. So yes, we have people who are doing Philippine studies, but a lot of us are also just Filipinos that have got expertise and study in all these other areas. So we're bringing all of that together.
Yeah, and I had the privilege of attending one or two of the presentations, and that's where I saw and I met Dr. Gaerlan, and I said, kailangan ma-cascade natin itong grupo, the information, and which is what we're doing now also. And shout out pala sa aking kaklase, si Joven Castro, si Joven.
Yes.
Bumalik na ng Pilipinas. Dr. Joven Castro na siya ngayon.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Joven.
Dr. Joven. Oh, I remember kasi magkaklase kami sa master sa UP. And then we were also colleagues sa FEU. Nagturo din ako sa graduate school ng FEU. And but I was basically sa Miriam College. And then before COVID, nag-ano na kami, sabi niya, uy, pupunta ako, ganyan-ganyan na ano. And then COVID happened, so he had to stay for a while to do the research. And well, congratulations, Hoven. Congratulations. Yeah. Well deserved, yeah.
Very much so. Yeah.
And I expect to hear about his coming back to do some presentation kasi I saw, sino ba nag-present no? Si Dr. Mendoza, I think, presented.
Yes.
Si Harold, si PJ also presented. No, not Harold, si PJ presented about kapwa, no? Yung parang, oh, so I think hopefully those things can be cascaded to kasi I think one of the questions I asked in that forum was yung mga high school teachers, no? Kasi sila kami yung parang kami yung magpupush sa mga high school graduates. Uy, AUT kayo. Uy, ito, ganyan-ganyan na, no? So I hope that connection will still be strengthened, no? Yung with the high school teachers and all the teachers, no?
Yes.
So ito pong Philippine Studies Hub is it's ongoing research. Is there an upcoming forum?
Well, watch this space. So the Pagmulat series, which is the first one you attended, Kuya, we are continuing to have those seminars. And so we're excited. I can't divulge the details, but we do have people who are coming here from the Philippines who will be part of some of these series. Some scholars from around Aotearoa. Can you believe that our stretch goes all the way down to the bottom of the South Island? So so we're so excited. We'll be able to have forum where our people that are coming in to speak from all these different areas. So the Pagmulat series we are having ongoing. We're doing some research work as part of the funding. We're doing some research on what it means to be Filipino in Aotearoa. Wanting to, yes, it's still developing in terms of the scope and the objectives, but I guess there was a question that was posed at the inaugural forum around young people, 1.5 generation Pinoy, second generation Pinoys, who and what their sense of being Filipino is, growing up, similar to someone like myself. Work around tangata tiriti and Filipino identity. But yes, next year is going to be the celebration of the 60 years of official relations between Aotearoa and the Philippines. So next year you will see a lot more activity happening.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good to know. Good to know. And definitely we will watch this space.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and also there are, like, I've met, or I've interfaced with some of our professors in the South Island, no?
Mm,
Dr. Janet in
yes.
Nelson,
Yeah.
yung tatlong doktor sa University of Canterbury,
Yes.
Dr. Alex Tan, Dr. Jerry Nartea, and Dr. Susie Morris, no? And I think there's more that hopefully, itong mga gatherings, yung mga research
Yeah.
could enhance the Philippine Studies Hub. Because
Yeah.
Dr. Garland, di ba, in other countries, meron na silang, hindi sa Pilipinas, like in Hawaii, meron sila yung Philippine Studies program talaga, no?
Yes, so
Is that,
they this is what the Philippines government has been funding across multiple universities globally.
oh,
So
wow.
they have been given seed fund
Mm-hmm,
to create these centers or programs, and it really depends on what the interest is. We're not at capacity yet to be able to do something that is more like a formalized program of study here
mm-hmm,
in Aotearoa, but we're trying to do something similar with all of our external engagement. But yeah, for sure. How wonderful would it be to have,
yes.
a Philippine Studies program, a minor, maybe some
Mm-hmm,
Tagalog classes? That would be my vision if I
mm-hmm,
could, foresee in the future. But what we need is to have people wanting to do that study, wanting,
mm-hmm,
young Filipinos coming through high school to say, actually, I also want a minor in knowing about myself.
mm-hmm.
My identity is Filipino, or learning about my history from my homeland. So that's my blue sky. Our blue sky vision is to be able to do that kind of thing. But we have to start
Nice.
small, you know,
Yes, nice.
start with what we can do. And
Correct.
hopefully we gain traction. We bring in more people who are interested in studying about Filipino history, values,
Mm-hmm,
identity, all of that. Then that is what feeds into being able to create official programs in
mm-hmm.
universities. Yeah.
Shout out to our friends in Palmerston North and Wellington. They
Mm,
do this, like a Sunday, gathering of kids to teach about culture, about our language. And here in Auckland also, the Botany Library, they have, I think, on the last Sunday of the month, it's parang Filipino storytelling, parang ganun, no? And hopefully that's something that will be cascaded to,
yeah.
no, get in touch with the Philippine Studies Hub, no, para ma-document, and then, you put it into, more,
Yes.
mas wider dissemination, no?
Yes, we definitely will support that. So if people have these wonderful things that you're doing, we don't always know the extent of what
Mm,
people are doing, then definitely get in touch with us and we can we can advertise it through our network, our social media,
mhm.
and get more people doing these things. Mm.
Yeah, with 108,000 plus and growing Filipinos dito sa Aotearoa, New Zealand, it's about time. Back in Hamilton, nung time na yun, when I was living in Hamilton, there was a clamor from the younger generation, yung mga half Filipino, parang, Tito, can you teach us, ganun? So sometimes on a Sunday, we will rent a hall or something, and then Philippine history, yung mga ganun, ituturo ko, yung mga ganun. And I think they this youth, no, they were yearning for the roots. Parang they want, saan ba galing si nanay or mommy or dad or ano. And so I think what you're doing with the hub, it's a very laudable project, and we're full support, no? Ako, PSTV Plus, my social media channel, podcast channel is very much in support of this. Of course, si Sarah ay ano din, ano din
Yeah.
natin na katuwang natin dito. And yeah, that I think maganda nga yan that the Philippine government itself, it's a 60th, I think, anniversary of the relationship of New Zealand and the Philippines next year. And I've heard of, yun nga, may mga grupo na planning to do things. And yeah, Yeah, I'm just so excited kasi ako more of media and academe kasi ako eh. Yung more
Mm,
of, yun ang focus ko eh. Yung, kaya pag nakakakita ako ng something like what you're doing is I try to see it like, oh, I try to attend that ano yung kung ano man presentation or click online and all of these things, you know.
mm.
Dr. Garland, it's always, nung una kita narinig, sabi ko, kailangan ma-interview ko siya, ma-podcast ko siya. And hindi ako nagkakamali. I hope this will not be the first and the last time na mag-ano tayo. No? We can get in touch with you. But yun nga, may mga binanggit ka na about future plans, no? But just to put it into context, no? So ano yun, gusto ko yung ano, yung blue sky. Ano yung blue sky? So yun yung parang canvas, parang ganon, tapos
Yeah,
ipipinta, mga ganon.
blue sky thinking, yung parang if you could have the world in front of you, if money
Ah,
was no object, if resource was no object, what do you want to happen? And so that's
oh,
what I think that blue sky thinking ang tawag dyan po. You can look
oh,
at that
okay.
blue sky thinking, yung positive,
Mhm.
visionary, looking to the horizon type of
Ayun.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
I-appropriate ko yan. But syempre, i-credit ko. Dr. Eunice Garland mentioned about this blue sky. So, what is your blue sky?
Yeah, we should all have a blue sky vision.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
And so yours is something to do with teacher training also, and then plus the Philippine Studies Hub. Yeah, so those are big things that with you, with your support, and also the people supporting you would be, make it a reality. And ako po, I'm here to nanunumpa na ako na I will be supportive of everything that you do. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Garland, Ma'am Eunice, at it's been an honor and a privilege to have you on our podcast. And I hope our listeners and our viewers ay meron po kayong napulot. Marami po kayong pinag-usapan ni Dr. Garland dito. So maraming salamat din. I'd like to thank our listeners and viewers na pinayagan nyo kami pumasok sa inyong mga tahanan, sa inyong mga puso sa mga panahon na ito para sa isang edisyon ng PSTV Plus Podcast. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Take care and
thank
God
you.
bless. Goodbye for now.